Hello everyone and welcome back. I am Michael, as you guys already know now, and this video is how to remove a third party, right? And we're going to discuss that along with, manifesting marriage and things like that. A viewer asked me in one of my videos if I could cover this topic, and I figured it's something I'd be doing anyway, so let's get into it. That being said, before I jump into that, feel free, if you learn anything in this video or you find inspiration of any sorts, feel free to subscribe, hit that like button, and as well, as you guys all know, coaching is available. Just go to the link in my profile or go to embodythestate.com and you will find it there. That being said, let's move into it. So how do you remove a third party? Well, the thing about third parties that you have to understand is it's mainly from your awareness that not only do they arrive, but it's how they stay. And when you are trying to remove a third party, you have to understand your awareness. In other words, where you're putting your consciousness is everything, right? Consciousness is like it's the water that gives life to these seeds, which in other words, you germinate them and then they sprout, right? And when they sprout, that's when they, in essence, come into your reality, right? They come to fruition. So, excuse me, sorry about that. When they come into fruition, that's when you realize, okay, I somehow created this. I made a mistake, and that's okay, right? When things happen like that and you get a third party in your reality, don't blame yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Don't be upset. Just understand in some way you created this. Whether you know how or not, it doesn't really matter because you can always figure that out after. And dwelling on it, is not the best thing to do when you can instead just focus on the end result. And then in your free time, reflect, okay, what thoughts were I thinking? Like, what was I thinking? What was I feeling? What did I think about myself? What did I believe about myself? And more importantly, what was I feeling about myself, right? And that's what I want you guys to focus on whenever you do manifest, bad things. So you can actually start tracing back how it happened, right? But if you're just stuck and you can't figure it out, it's okay. Put your focus at the light at the end of the tunnel, right? And that's something I discuss a lot. It's that light at the end of the tunnel. In other words, it's the ideal life. It's the solution to your problem, right? So when it comes to removing a third party, the number one thing you can do to get things changing is taking your awareness off the problem, right? Neville Goddard talks about awareness and how it pretty much gives life to things, but it also allows things to wither and die, right? And those are his words exactly, right? They can wither and die. So through your awareness, when you wake up every day and the first thing you think about is the third party, right? And how the SP is not yours and how the third party is better than you and, that took your SP and how are you ever going to get them back and so on and so on. In other words, you're viewing the problem, right? Your eyes are on the problem. Your mind is on the problem. And on top of that, you're reacting to the problem, right? You most likely don't feel good when you focus on it and you start accepting these things as fact. And that's part of human nature. That's okay. Don't blame yourself. And once again, don't beat yourself up over it. But you have to now understand, if you wish to remove a third party, your job is simply to take your awareness off of the third party. It doesn't mean ignore them and pretend they're not there. It's okay to acknowledge that they are there still, right? It's okay to understand that they are in your life. It's okay to understand if you saw them with your person today that, okay, that sucks. I don't like it. But guess what? You don't have to just be like, oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. That's crazy. That's no way to live, right? Because you're still reacting, right? So instead, understand that through acknowledging, in other words, you're accepting that, okay, I created this and this is here, but you're acknowledging that it's temporary as well. And when you can acknowledge that a problem is temporary and you start looking at your problem through the eyes of the law, and more importantly, through the eyes of the creator, you realize there's nothing scary. There's really nothing scary, right? And in your situation, when you take your awareness off, I want you to simply change that awareness where it's on the third party, and I want you to now put it on the actual end result that you wish to experience. Put it on the light at the end of the tunnel. And when you put it at that light at the end of the tunnel, the ideal life that you would like to live. So in other words, your SP with you, and you view your SP as yours, and you start changing how you accept them. Because right now you accept that there's a third party in your SP's life. And by doing that, you are continuing the third party to be there. But if you understand that instead of focusing on the change that you wish to see, in other words, you're looking at your 3D and you're upset and you're wondering why is it not changing and this and that, don't worry about that. Understand that your only job, no matter what, is to understand that third party is temporary. And as long as you are continuing to put your focus on the end result, in other words, you have the wish fulfilled within, right? You continue to fulfill yourself within. So in other words, instead of looking at your third party and being upset, you're going to instead look at in your imagination the life you would be living with your partner, and whatever imaginal act you use, then react to that. It's literally that simple. So when it comes to doing that, you just have to focus on that. It's put your awareness on what you would rather experience, and then accept it as fact in that moment, right? Don't just do the imaginal act in your mind and then that's it, right? Do whatever imaginal act you would prefer to be experiencing in your reality down the road. Accept it as fact, because you have to look at it from the eyes of, this is already existing. This, what I'm seeing in my imagination, is already existing in a different reality. Therefore, it's not just a daydream, right? And you reacting to it, therefore, make sure it's not a daydream. Because if you just think about it, that's just a daydream. Even, Neville and Murphy and a couple other people discuss this. Just thinking about something is not enough. It's the same thing as, when they tell you that just saying things vainly is not going to be as powerful as feeling the wish fulfilled once, right? And it's true, and my clients have found this to be true as well, and I found this through my experience as well, right? Like I mentioned in my previous video, I've tried it all, right? And for me personally, the reason I teach to combine your imaginal act with the feeling of the wish fulfilled is because it's like a double whammy. Why would you not, right? If it makes you change your self-concept quicker, if it's more healthier for your mind, and if you find that you are getting just easier results with this, why wouldn't you try it, right? So that's why I teach that way, and I think that's why a lot of people resonate with, the more traditional way of manifesting, which is great, right? And as long as you focus on the end result and you are able to contemplate what that would look like, and that involves not having a third party, by the way. When you react to this, that is sending a signal to your subconscious mind, and you are telling your subconscious mind, hey, this is who I am. There is no point in me, being upset, because if I feel fulfilled now, how can I be upset in this moment, right? And your subconscious mind cannot differentiate between fact or fiction. It doesn't know between an imaginal act and something you are actually doing, right? That's why they did studies with athletes and things like that, and people that go to the gym. They told one group, actually do the work, and then they told the other group, do it all in your mind. And the results were phenomenal, right? It goes to show you can actually, I don't want to say fool, but in a sense, you're fooling your subconscious mind. You're feeding it the information you want it to have, right? And that's one thing I want to share with you guys is your subconscious mind is open for the taking, right? Think of it like a hockey net. I used this example in the past of my lives, but think of it like a hockey net, right? The hockey net requires a goalie to block the pucks, and it's the goalie's job to stop the pucks from entering, right? So view the pucks as thoughts. So the puck is a thought, and the net is your subconscious mind. If there is no, in other words, if there's nobody blocking that puck, it's open to receive anything. And that is what your subconscious is. It's open to receive anything, but it's up to you to give it what it needs. And when you continue to shoot those pucks, in other words, those thoughts, into that net, your mind starts accepting it, because your subconscious mind cannot say, whoa, hold up, I'm not accepting that. I choose to not accept that, but I will accept this. It doesn't work like that. So that's why I tell people, it's okay to acknowledge your 3D is not what you want it to be. It's okay. But don't get stuck on it. Don't be stuck on the negativity of it, of how upset you are and how lonely you feel and this and that. That's okay, right? I understand. You're on your journey. You will feel those lows. Even I felt those lows, and I still do sometimes, right? But luckily for me, through my experience, I understand that it's all temporary. So I don't really spiral that much, right? And you'll get there too. So just understand, in order to get rid of a third party in any form, it's take your awareness off. When you take your awareness off, you stop giving water to that plant. In other words, you let it die. You let it wither and die. And when you're putting your awareness on the end result, now you go from here all the way here, and it's two different lives, right? So when you go to the end result and then you feel grateful for it, you feel fulfilled, you feel like you received it within, right? While logically knowing it's not here, that's okay, because remember, your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference. And as long as you continue to feel that your partner is yours, and the third, and you don't even focus on the third party has to disappear on its own. That is law, right? Because how can you live in a reality where that person is yours and then the third party is still there, right? It doesn't work like that, right? So if you put your focus dominantly on just the end result you want, and you can practice training your mind to not jump to the third party, because of course you've naturally trained your mind. You've given it the habit of repetition of going to the third party, of worrying about the third party, of going to social media and stalking and looking for proof that they're doing something and whatever else, right? These are habits that you formed, right? And all you're doing is you're forming a new habit now to jump to the new story and to put your focus on the new story. And the new story is, from this point forward, that third party does not exist. That third party is not someone in your life that is bothering you. Yes, logically, you know that they are in your life currently, but you're coming from the perspective of, like, my future is based on what I do now. So if I am changing now, then there is no reason that my future will be the same, right? Like, it has to change to the better. And as long as you're being consistent with yourself and you're dominantly focused on the state of consciousness that you are in, the lens that you are looking at your world from, and you return to the state of, I am fulfilled, like I have that amazing relationship. And in other words, notice how I said that and I didn't put any focus on the third party. That's what you're doing. The problem people have is that they do that, what I just did, and then they start worrying about the third party, and it's you're contradicting yourself, right? It's one foot in, one foot out. So don't do that. Just focus on the life you would have if the third party wasn't there. If you had that blissful life where you guys were together and your SP was crazy about you in a healthy, loving way, and you guys have the perfect life, and what would you be doing on your weekends? Start planning your weekends, right? Like, today is Tuesday, so that being said, Friday's coming up, so what am I going to do on Friday, right? And then, when it's closer to Thursday, and then I'll be like, okay, so on the weekend, what are we doing? And in my head, I'm seeing us, going on dates, holding hands, I'm hearing the SP tell me like nice things or react to something I said, with love and laughter, whatever it is. All that stuff puts me into the state of feeling loved and fulfilled by this person, right? And because I feel this repeatedly over and over, and I accept this while maneuvering through my 3D, understanding that my 3D has to change because of what I'm doing in here and in here, then you understand there's no pressure, there's nothing to fear, okay, guys? So that third party, it's not permanent, and it's only permanent if you refuse to take your attention off them and instead put it on the wish fulfilled, right? So to get rid of a third party, just a quick summary of it to wrap it all up is put your awareness off of them. Go from here and then go here instead, right? So as third parties here, I want you to focus here. Right here is the dream life you have with your SP. It's what it would look like. What would you be doing? How do they hold you? How do they kiss you? You could even get intimate in your mind with them. It doesn't matter, but every action you do in your imaginal act, aim for it to fulfill yourself, okay? You want it to fulfill you in the sense of you want to feel, even if it's for 2 seconds, you want to feel loved. You want to feel grateful. You want to feel appreciative. You want to have that, I can't believe I actually manifested this. This is amazing, right? Like, that's how you want to feel, kind of. And when you can do that over and over again with different imaginal acts, and, if you want, do what I do, right? I jump from gratitude, which I use often, but I also jump from just being loved. And then I jump from feeling joy, excitement. I move around. I have fun with it, and I don't repeat the same imaginal acts. If you want to, go ahead. But I literally, if I have 100 thoughts of my SP, for example, then I will most likely have 100 different scenarios, right? Or maybe I'll repeat like certain ones, like holding hands. For me, for some reason, that one always like gets me feeling loved. It's something I enjoy as a person. I enjoy holding hands, right? So that's one of the few things that I will return to, but it's because I understand that's my trigger for feeling loved, and like I'm receiving affection, and I feel like proud. I know for women, most of my viewers are women, but for a guy, at least from my experience, when I hold a woman's hand, it's so small and feminine. It makes me feel like I'm the protector. It makes me feel like like I feel grateful. Like, I'm so grateful that she trusts me, right? And I don't take that for granted. So therefore, I start feeling loved and grateful and so on and so on, right? So play around with your mind. Have fun with it. See what works for you guys. But it's taking your awareness off the third party and focusing on, if you want marriage, if you want, kids, whatever it is, then, what would you name your kids? And start focusing on conversations you would have even with your SP, regarding kids. Like, you could say, honey, like, are you going to be able to take the kids to school today, right? And you could hear him, or even in your mind, see him kiss you on the cheek and tell you, I got it, sweetie, don't worry. And then right then and there, you're just, that little relief, like, where you feel good, and you're appreciative, you're feeling grateful and loved. Right then and there, you just shifted your state, and you did not have to say, I am loved, I'm in a happy, loving relationship, SP does this to me, and he's obsessed. You don't have to do any of that, right? And that's why I teach you guys, just practice feeling the wish fulfilled with your imaginal acts. Trust me, you're gonna have fun doing this. So that being said, that's pretty much the summary, and that's pretty much the gist of removing a third party. I will make more videos on this topic with different explanations and different perspectives. So don't worry, this isn't the final one on third parties and stuff, but this video alone is all you need. It's simple. It's take awareness off problem, put it on solution, and then react to the solution in your mind repeatedly throughout your day, as if you have it, as if you received it, as if you just remembered that you got it. Okay, so it's that simple. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you're still watching and you haven't already, subscribe and like, and I truly appreciate you all. I will be doing lives on YouTube in the future. For now, I'm just relaxing and doing everything on TikTok for now while I wait for YouTube to allow me to do to unlock certain things. So I got to reach like 1,000 subs and 4,000 hours of watch time, and then they'll let me do my lives with more than 25 people. So when that happens, I'll be doing my lives here mainly for the most part. So I appreciate all of you. I love you all. And remember, guys, join the Facebook group if you haven't, and it's free. Just join and I'll approve everyone. And, you know, that's pretty much it. I got nothing more to say, so I hope that helped you guys. I love you all very much, and thank you for paying attention and watching. If you've made it this far, I intend that this helped you in any form, and if you guys have any more questions or you have any video requests, feel free to put them down in the comments as well, guys. Let me know what videos you want me to talk about. You guys know me. When I first started streaming, I would do sometimes 8-hour streams. You know, I'd go like 3 hours here, 3 hours there, and then an hour, 2 hours extra later in the day. Like, you know, I could talk law all day, right? The ones that know me, you know this. So give me some ideas that you guys want me to discuss if you want, and I'll get to it, right? I'll pick ones that are the most common, that I feel people need the most help with, and we'll get them done, okay, guys? So I hope you enjoyed this video. I love you all very, very much, and I hope you guys have a great day, or if you're elsewhere in the world and you're watching this at night, I hope you have a wonderful night. So take care, guys, and I love you very much.